The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
This magical Monday. We're still in this beautiful month of March. The weather is absolutely splendid. I almost feel as if it was paid for and sponsored by the great people of the Bahamas, but before I can give credit to you, I got to give credit to the Creator, the Almighty God, because only He could have given us such beautiful weather as we have right here. No wonder why people leave in droves to come to this beautiful country. The weather, your spirit, your smile, you can't beat it. But we have to remember our purpose in this country, that we are the protectors of all that lie before us. Today, I have a guest with us who has responsibility to protect that which is before us, that of the environment, that of the natural resources of this country. Forgive me. We've had a great Sunday talking about the crab pen, and I had every ambition today to continue that conversation with you in the 3 o'clock hour, but that's not going to happen today. I have a family medical emergency, have to leave the studio for 3 to head to the airport. But all that being said, I made a commitment to be here today with none other than the Minister Zane Lightbourne. And I just met him downstairs, and you know how you Bahamian people go when you see peace. I don't know why I came into the parking lot and I felt like I was King Charles. My God. I felt good. The man was so tall and stately. I remember the story of King Saul in the Bible. They say, Jesus, Lord, the man tall and handsome. I don't like that. I like to be the handsomest fella in the room, you know. But the guy was stately, mild-mannered, humble. But what made it even much more significant was his driver is my childhood friend, who I see every so now and then, former Defense Force officer. I'm not going to call his name because he didn't give me no permission. He's one of them undercover type fellas, you know. But it was good to see familiar faces. And I just have to say that you Bahamian people, when you all go to Parliament, boy, you all do a fine job. Boy, you all be dressed nice, looking nice. You're glowing. You look better than your picture, man. You look better than them poster signs you all have all over the place. You need to tear them down and take another photo. Mr. Photo Man, you got to take another photo of this man and put on them posters, man. The man is a good-looking Bahamian man. See, now, y'all can say, oh, he must see PLP now. He talking about this man like that. But listen to me, I don't like man. You know I don't like man. But let me put it plain to you. We have to start patting our people on the back when they look good. I just came from around the corner from an eatery, and I saw a beautiful young lady, very comely. I said, my God, Bahamians know how to make people, eh? Why y'all stop making people? Y'all got everyone else coming in this country making a bunch of people, and y'all don't make no more. I want to say what you really is, them peas and rice and Coca-Cola shape. And you understand what I'm talking about? The girls in this country look good. The women look good. Men, you all take care of yourself. You're lifting weights. You're keeping in shape. You're exercising on Goodman's Bay. You look good. Listen, Bahamian people, man. Y'all got something to boast about, man. When we look at track and first, shout out to the Fountain family. Michael Fountain, my very good friend. His twins just came first and second in the 200 meters the other day. Man, they look good. And so as we are doing well, let us continue to push each other and encourage each other to continue doing well. Today, I got my friend outside the studio sipping coffee or tea, or I know she's drinking, but Gabi right there waiting. Oh, Lord, Gabi waiting. And I see how she looking at me and say, oh, God, behave yourself. But I with good people in here with Zane Lightbourne. Mr. Lightbourne, without any further ado, man, tell your Bahamian people your Yamacraw people, your environment and natural resources people, good day. And we're going to have a great conversation here today, folks. Get your environment and your natural resources questions ready, because that's why he's here today. We ain't talking no politics. We still in Lent, man. You know, he's a God-fearing man. But we're going to talk environment and natural resources today. Minister, the microphone is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here, for your hosting. Thank you to the listeners out there, your listeners and the listeners of in this entire country who spend their time interested in the issues that affect them. I also would like to send shouts out to Yamacraw, the residents and constituents there who sent me to Parliament to represent their dreams and aspirations as citizens, and to my family that supports me, extended family, my team that backs me. They do the good work. I get the praise for it. The team at Environment that equally have a training today. I'm big on training as a former educator. And so today it's about wellness and financial wellness and physical wellness. And we also want to send shouts out to all of the workers who could not make it because they had to be on the ground and doing the grunt work and the dirty work. So I appreciate everyone who still has faith in this country and believe that this is the best country on the planet. We like to say little country or little state. We're a little land, but we're a big ocean state. And so I take it a privilege that the Honorable Prime Minister saw fit to put me as the Minister of Environment and Natural Resources, because we're known as a little country but a big ocean state. And I'll say more about that in a bit.
Well, listen, you have a very interesting background. You mentioned to us that you came from education. There are many Bahamian people that have so many questions when it even pertains to our educational system. It almost seems problematic. Just listening to you, you seem extremely confident as you present yourself. And are we losing educators to other professions, including politics? Or should we simply encourage people to remain as educators and allow them to get into other professions? Because people are just leaving in droves. They're going from educators to nurses, educators to doctors, educators to politicians, educators to journalists. It just seems to be like a mass exodus from the educational system. How did you find that transition either to be accommodating, or would you want to return back to education, or are you now educating as the minister you are now?
Well, both, or all of the points that you've made are very good points, and both of the statements you made are true. Both of the questions that you'd have asked me. I would like to always be known as an educator, and I believe that in whatever we do, wherever I'm sent, there's a saying, grow where you're planted. So I've been transplanted in this space, but education is still a big part of my portfolio, because the environment that we would have inherited, we inherited as children, and our fathers and forefathers and those before them. And so we have to be good stewards by passing down our information, by protecting what we have been given by God, and also enhancing, using our knowledge for the betterment of our Bahamian people.
I don't want to make this conversation a PLP, FNM, COI, DNA conversation. I want you to follow me carefully. Because in my own estimation, it seems to me that the environment and the natural resources conversation can only be political. Is it possible for us now to separate ourselves from the political ambitions and simply stick to the idea that we need to protect the environment, we need to improve our environment, we need to take better care of our natural resources, we can monetize this, we can enrich people's lives? How can we measure that at this time?
Well, I thought the best point to begin with is to look at how we take care of things that we can touch and feel physically, or the environment right before us. I always repeat this, I think it's an African proverb: if each before his door he swept, then the nation would be kept, or then the village would be kept. It was at the time. And that means that everyone has a responsibility to clean the area before them, to take care of the area before them or in front of them, their yard, their community, to participate, the beaches you may live on or around, and then by extension, you can begin to appreciate the broader environment around you. I find it kind of contradictory and hypocritical that we, in some spaces, would say that we care about our natural environment, but then you look in the areas right before some of us and you see a neglect in how we treat the physical environment right around us, how we dispose of our waste, our residential waste, how we haphazardly just continue indiscriminate dumping in bushes, how we don't care about the streets. When we see it clean, we see a green space, we're eating lunch and we just don't want the garbage in our car, so we throw it out with a disregard for just decency. When we talk about the measuring or the measurement of our people and how we can measure our, I guess, standards or how much we care about our environment, I think that it all begins with how we look at the areas around us. Because, it's like you said, you started off with a look, and I thank you for your kind words at the beginning of the show. But our presentation in ourselves, we are taught to take care of ourselves, to present yourself as decent men and women. We were taught that at an early age, that you have to care about your appearance, and it have to begin with cleanliness. You have to care about how your space around you look. And then sometimes you invite guests, you're doing it for you, but when you invite guests, you don't have to be embarrassed when they come because this is your culture. So I think that we have to look at the culture. Are we sustaining the culture of cleanliness, or are we allowing our culture to be shifted to something that is not us?
I wish you would answer that yourself, because there are several things that do irritate even myself. One of the biggest things that irritates me is the clearing down of all of that property on Carmichael Road West. Oh my God, it irks my spirit just to see all of those trees disappearing, because I could recall even in the western side of New Providence, early in the morning, there used to be a mist that came from all of those coniferous trees. And the precipitation every morning would bring the vegetation that lush green color. You would hear the crickets, you would hear the frogs. The ecosystem is in that particular area. Now I'm sensing that has diminished quite a lot. And I'm also irritated by the fact of dumping. And I'm wondering if we're really caring as a government about dumping and nasty individuals. Should we not put stiffer penalties in place to penalize these people? You almost need like a drone technology so that anytime someone does something that is nasty and irritates people like myself, we could place heavy fines on these people, because they seem as if they don't understand what cleanliness is. Are these measures that y'all are looking into, or are these simply going to go under the rug and be swept away?
Oh, no, definitely nothing should go under the rug and be swept away, because our laws are put in place to protect us all. And I think that everyone needs to get involved where we need to tweak, where we need to enforce. We have to look at agencies and how they work together, the cause for our laws to be realized. I think that when it comes to the first thing that you mentioned about the point about the trees and cutting down of the trees, there's a sustainable way to do this, and it's called sustainable development. We identify areas that we want to develop, and we have laws that protect trees that are not supposed to be moved or that you have a permission to move. And then in some cases, you have to justify to our forestry unit where you're replacing the trees that you would have taken down.
I like that.
Yeah, so where you find that there may be the illegal removal in abundance of trees, it's up to us as citizens to report so that we can catch people in the act. We can make sure they have the necessary permits to do what they're doing, and then we can order where necessary cease and desist, and then cause persons either to show where they're going to pay for what they would have removed, or that they had some plan in place already that would have mitigated against the intention to develop. The other part of it, this is I know it's a pet peeve. I mean, we call it pet peeve, but it's just frustrating to see what we are becoming in some areas where there's this disregard for illegal dumping. So what happened when I came in on my second year as a member of Parliament in Yamakro, I had an issue where we clean an area and persons would come and dump an old mattress. Mm-hmm. And then people take a picture and say, oh, where's the MP? Look at the state of this area here. They're dumping stuff in the bushes. And they would blame the MP for old fridge in the bush, old mattress in the bush. So I started doing more bin drops, and I discovered that even when we drop a bin and we give persons 3 days, on the 4th day, once we remove the bin, people continue dumping on the site that the bin used to be. And so,
like in South Beach.
well,
I've seen that site.
example.
Yeah.
So what I did was I put up bins and had frequent removal and asked the Department of Environment at the time to help me in clearing the area of this bulk waste from tree clippings, which was the most of it, from people just dumping, and even mosquitoes. And so we wanted to do something more permanently in an area, and the director said, hey, this is an idea we've been fiddling with for some time. I'm glad you're doing it. And they gave me the support. So we identified an area. Now it's morphed into a nice, clean waste transfer station, bulk waste transfer station. All right. We asked residents because no one wants a dump site in the area. So this is not a dump site. And we have done a social media blitz about it. I don't know if you've seen it, where the same concept of having a bin in a place, and when the bin is full, you move it. We have 3 or 4. You bring an empty bin or some empty bins to replace that, and you continuously help people who live in the East, for example, to move trash to the landfill, because it takes about maybe an hour to move back and forth. And so if you have someone clearing a yard, they're not gonna take 4 and 5 trips. In a lot of cases, they find some bushes and vacant lots, and they just dump whatever they have in those vacant lots for expediency for them. But this become an environmental hazard. And so we have found a way to decrease. We have seen a massive decrease in indiscriminate dumping in bushes once we have put these transfer stations in place. And now every constituency almost asking for them. And we have 7 located across the island of New Providence, because it's not that easy traversing, because of the amount of traffic we now have back and forth to get items to the landfill. And this is bulk waste items, dry items, not still continue through the residential waste collectors or the garbage trucks, as we call them. But we found that these transfer stations have cleaned up the area, brought value to properties, because people no longer find vacant lots that are neglected to just dump unsightly things in there, causing a further environmental hazard. Because we may only talk about the surface and the rats and mosquitoes, but a lot of these items leak things into your water table, and it becomes a real health hazard because you don't have knowledge of exactly what you're consuming, sometimes based on some effect of negligence, I would call it in this case.
Well, I'm very interested in your term. You've been there for how long now, as the Minister of Environment and Natural Resources? Just very briefly. Huh?
January 1st was my official date.
So how does that feel transitioning in there and where you are currently? Is this something, and I don't want to be political once again as we loom near to the general election, but how either delightful has it been entering into that space, or how determined are you to finish any project in such a short space of time?
Well, I've been, I was a history and geography teacher. And so the environment part was not a tough transition in understanding a lot that goes along with having a portfolio.
Well, that's how you got there. Geography and history may have played a role in that.
Yes, okay. It may have played a role. But I never asked the Prime Minister what his determination was in causing me to be moved there. But in a short space of time, I'm trying to tackle some of the low-hanging fruit, and that is a national cleanup effort that's coming. We have a committee that I've formed that's working together with multiple stakeholders in this area, including churches and schools, because we want it to be something of cleaning up, and it has a phased approach. So we're going to go from just a simple act of putting trash in the bins to something on a more national or expanded level, where we look at oceans and how we dispose of waste on the family island, so on and so forth. Some of these are going to work in tandem as we get funding for it, but that is one of the ways that we are addressing some of the low-hanging fruit of let's begin to see and feel. Aesthetics is a big part of environmental cleanliness. And so once you can see and feel, the air feels different, the area is greener and more sightly. And so once that is accomplished, we feel like we are making visible progress. But what we also want to do is to begin some of the other long-term and medium-term goals of the Ministry of Environment. So we're looking at how we dispose of waste, residential waste. We know that the best formula is to have covered bins rather than to have these open containers. Sometimes they don't have drainage, and so on a rainy day, they're full of water. The garbage collector comes, he's a young man, 200-300 homes, and lift these heavy bins. And so, just the way they dispose of these, they leave a trail of garbage and garbage, we call it garbage juice or liquid, and it causes another environmental issue. And so we're looking in the medium term of how we get rid of residential waste, how we make this available, covered receptacles to residents so they can dispose of garbage properly. And then on a longer term, how we deal with waste in terms of whether because we have some recycling programs going on, the volume of waste that we measure or that we see cannot be addressed properly. And so we're looking at some bigger projects for the long term, including the littering of derelict vehicles, which seem to be ongoing. And we know that these vehicles are coming in the country at cheap cost, so persons aren't using their resources in repairing a vehicle as much as we used to. We find it very easy to just abandon a car and get a new one because it's only a few $1,000 that a lot of people can afford.
Man, that's some good information. Listen, I want to give the minister a quick break. He's only supposed to have been here for 15 minutes. Our time is very short today. I still have not yet touched the natural resources conversation. I still want to touch the whole idea of your health as it pertains to the environment. We have a rising case of cancer in this country, especially in Grand Bahama. I want to know what the environmental minister is doing to address that. Let's take this quick break. This is Guardian Radio Today, 96.9 FM. I'm sitting with none other than Minister Zane Lightbourne, the Minister of Environment and Natural Resources. We'll be right back.
Reliable and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Wait, you know what's going down tomorrow?
No, babe, what happening?
Joe bringing these knives to school. He could do Junior in.
For what?
Wait, he fooled with Joe girl.
Mother sick. And you know Junior don't back down for nothing. So that means you got a big fight tomorrow.
So whose side you want?
Side? I trying to stay in school, not Simpson Pen. We gotta tell somebody about this fight.
Tell somebody? I ain't no snitch. I mean cool, you know.
Wait, if you so cool, and stay out of the fight.
Yeah, but if I don't hang on Joe's side, how many boys coming for me next?
Alright, so we definitely gotta tell somebody. We gotta prevent the fight.
What I say, I don't want nobody call me snitch.
We could just call Crime Stoppers. You could report what you know, and nobody gotta know it's you.
So what are the boy?
All you gotta do is call them, or you text them through the Crack Crime Bahamas app, and nobody can know it's you.
Then the police come looking for me for more info, and when they finish with them, Joe them coming looking for me?
When you call Crime Stoppers, the call go directly to Miami, and they don't ask nothing about you. Then you can get the pen from them, and they can claim a reward later using that same pen.
Plus, everything's scrambled, so nobody can read what you're saying.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
And we're back. This is Guardian Radio Today, 96.9 FM. I am your host, Garthman on Roseboro. Just been joined in studio with none other than Gracious Gabby. She's here today. She has her own time on Wednesdays, I believe it is. But, you know, she's a Garth, you can't leave me and I can't leave you. So she's going to pop in from every now and then. And I'm supposed to be joined with Ian Thomas today as well. You know, because every now and then you need a little sidekick. But the big man on the horse today is none other than the Minister Zane Lightborough. When I say big man, I talk about big man. I talk about taller than Garth Maynard Roseborough. So I got to watch my mouth in here today. And I know you people would accuse me of protecting a big man, but listen to me, I ain't no pit bull. And I definitely ain't no pot cake. I see what they do to pot cake. I got to be a dope and pincher. I just got to know when to talk and when to be quiet. But listen, man, we're having a great conversation here on the environment and natural resources. Touch a little bit about, the whole idea of trash littering and cutting down of trees. And I do see your calls coming in. And what I want to do, I want to get through one or two of these conversations very quickly. Then I'm going to open up the lines. I'm going to read your text that you have here today. And let me just throw those numbers out to you real quick before we resume the conversation. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere from the Family of Ireland, 3005720, or you can text me at 422-4. Natural resources. That is a geographical term. I remember that in geography. I was an A student in geography, and I always liked doing geography, trigonometrical stations and cumulus clouds and the whole 9 yards, studying the plains of Canada and all the territories of South America. Geography is where it's at. But in our minds, when we go to school, when we go to our government schools, and some of us even in the private schools, I don't think we ever truly focus on the Bahamas as having natural resources. When we think of a major natural resource in this country, I would immediately say fish. Huge resource. When it comes to fishing, you find what's that in the sea again now? I'm trying to remember the whale vomit. Ambergris. I'm trying to remember ambergris. There's so much treasure in the sea, even when it comes to sunken treasure. So when you talk about the ocean, what first comes to my mind is fish, and then everything else follows in the ocean before I even get to the land. As for you, when you talk about natural resources, this new term aragonite came popping up, but everybody just went simply aragonite. Aragonite is a solution to the future of the Bahamas. We even forgot about the fishing. We even forgot about the fish farming. We even forgot about aquaponics and all the rest of methods that we can go ahead and sustain ourselves. Why the big talk about aragonite all of a sudden?
Well, I think that it stems from where you began, that when we were children in school, we were taught, you are absolutely right, we were taught that we did not have natural resources. Mm-hmm. I remember being taught that. We were given a lot of European history and their version of who we are as a people, and or who we were as a people, and we never really appreciated our own story.
That's correct.
And so I think that what we were taught, we have to drift to where we can unteach some of that to our older persons, a hand down to the younger people.
Institute it.
And begin exactly to institute these the appreciation for our natural resources within the schools. So the issue with I think that the aragonite conversation came because of the benefits that were proposed in that conversation of monetary-wise, millions, billions, trillions of dollars I heard throwing around. And so this has been something that has been a hot topic. And it calls for us non-politicizing this issue and this matter.
That's where I want to go to.
So that we truly appreciate what we have, how we can get it, and how it can benefit the Bahamian people. So in terms of our fish, we have some of the largest seagrass and turtle grass meadows in the world.
Yes.
Mangrove reef systems, and these are habitats for the growth of new fish. And a lot of other countries, the channels using the currents that move through our oceans, we are able to sustain other countries in having healthy fish.
That's correct.
And when we talk about crawfish and all type of fish in the sea, right? So I think that when the idea of, I think using the basic conversation of fishing that everyone understands, it's easier to get buy-in than trying to explain natural resources, because then that becomes easily political. But when you talk about fishing, everybody could talk about that.
So let me break that down then, if I may, because I am a fisherman.
Yes.
Okay? Gabi, don't look at me like that, Gabi. You can get your fish soon. Gabi ain't no good boy.
Not
Y'all
what?
don't know Gabi beat me bad. Listen,
Not a red herring.
I know how difficult it is to operate a huge fishing vessel, or even if you have a 25-footer. You take 2-3 fellas on that boat. Do you know how difficult it is to go out there, get that fish, and come home? Some days you go out there, no fish biting. You spend all your money, solid fish biting, you lose your money. Sometimes you go out there and the fella miss his wife, his girlfriend, or he missed that thing when he smoke. And he want to turn the boat around. And if you don't turn the boat around, he's ready to burn the boat down. All these things happen at the sea. Sometimes you go there, that fella put a hook straight through his finger, got to get medical attention. You got to turn that boat around and go back to shore. You ain't catch one fish yet. A natural resource is not magical money. I think this is where the government needs to first have its conversation on the ground floor. Just because you mention a word, aragonite, doesn't equal money. What it means is that you have to learn to understand this industry, and you got to be prepared to invest. You got to be prepared to lose the investment. And you got to be prepared to say, you know what? Even if I make some money, I still got to put the money back into the investment in order to solidify the investment. These are the things that have to be taught. Yeah. There is no millions and billions of dollars for you to get overnight. That's not going to happen. On no continent, in no country around the world, does someone wake up one day and say, you know what? I'm going into the woods. I'm going to be a lumberjack. I'm going to cut down all the trees in the Amazon jungle, and I'm going to make paper. Oh, it sounds good. Everybody got to use paper. We got all types of different types of paper. Mm-hmm. But when you go to that Amazon jungle, you got the poisonous snake, you got the poisonous spider, you got monkeys swinging around all over the place, you got people shooting arrow and bow at you, shooting gun at you, running you off the property, the government interfering, everybody interfering. It's not that simple.
This is the conversation that need to be had. You are, I mean, the way that you would have expressed it, you're passionate about it, but you're so correct, right? Yeah. So I think that when we sell, it's called selling you a dream. You never sell the work that actually go into the process.
Nobody talk about the work. Yes. Everybody talk about the money, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
A generation of people walking around, I see these people sitting around waiting for money.
Right.
It doesn't work that way.
No.
Any money that is made that way is counterfeit money, and it ain't gonna last long. You're going to jail.
When I taught at Jackie, I remember let me make sure I got this right. The motto was no reward without labor. And that struck me just now when you said that everything that we speak about, there's a process and a requirement for you to achieve what you want to achieve.
Yes.
You may see the success of a person like yourself, like myself, like Gabby, but you never know the journey. You don't know what they would have been through. You want to sit where you are sitting, but you don't want to live there. You say, give me what you have. I want to be like you. Well, then be like me through the entire process. Would you be willing to go through that process to get here? Because everybody may not necessarily make it depending on what you've gone through.
I can prove it to you. You earlier in the conversation said that you have some garbage bins. Watch this now. People throwing out the garbage. The rain comes and fill up the garbage bin because you too lazy to put a hole in the bottom of the bin. That's the first thing.
Right.
So you can help the fellow who lifting the 200 to 300 barrels a night. Watch this. You too lazy to lift the garbage bag from the house and throw it in the garbage. You throw the garbage in the yard or across in the bush. You too lazy to wait to throw the garbage in a bin somewhere. You got to throw it out the window of the car and pray to God the wind blow it away. What type of human beings you are? Who's going to convince me that you could lift a ton of aragonite to make some money? You think I'm crazy? I look like some type of idiot to you? Y'all got to stop talking fool, man. In this world, it takes work. It takes work. It takes work to make money. The government of this country the citizens of this country have to work. If nobody is working, I want to open an aragonite company. Okay, so who you can hire to work? I got me 3-4 Haitian. You then gone and you're the same one who tell me you got a problem with the Haitian coming in the country. Oh, but my mind can be legal. Everybody Haitian can be legal. What you think this is? The fellow who chopped your yard last week, he ain't legal, but as far as you're concerned, that ain't my business. Mind my own business. We got to make sense in this country, man. So when we talk about natural resources, in your estimation, what is the easiest and simplest natural resource that you know of where we can make $1 or $2?
Well, I think the industry that you spoke of, there are multiple industries that come from our seas that you can make a lot of money from. Lately, we have seen some family islands get involved with their boat owners.
Yes.
With tours, right? Where they just take some of our natural beauty and find spots that they can take tourists, and tourists pay them to go and see these spots, right? Exuma is the best example because you have swimming with the sharks, you could see the iguanas, you could see starfish and turtles and whatnot.
So you need a boat captain license for that?
Yes, you should.
So now you got to take the
class.
and then you got to go find a boat, or you got to go to BAIC or go to the government and do a business plan, put that together to try to get a grant to get your boat. Then you got to go find gas and you got to go find crew. It ain't just happen overnight. Yeah. You see the man on the boat smiling, grinning, got 350s on the back of his boat. Oh, he's big time now. But you wasn't there when the man had a little dinghy. I mean, I just trying to be real, Minister.
No, you're real. And that, I think that's much appreciated because out of that, the same industry, you can use your boat to do fishing also.
Yes.
Because there are less fishermen. That's why fish some places are expensive. Because the natural resources that we have before us include everything from our air and our sunlight. We were told sun, sea, and sand, wasn't it? That was a tourism product. No, they are all natural resources. The natural resource of the sun and the 90% of sunlight that we have, the sunlight that we have through 90% of the year, we know that can give us energy. And that's why we're doing a multiple source approach when it comes to providing electricity, where we're using renewables. We're now moving to LNG. But the renewable stem from the most known renewable is our natural resource of 90% of the time we have sunlight.
I want to do two things right now because, the phone lines wouldn't stop lighting up. I was trying to hold the phone lines off, but the first thing I want to do, I got somebody sitting in this room who wouldn't behave herself. That little Gabi. Now, she didn't come on the show before and talk, but, Darren Pickstock, you look kind of good now, but you ain't look as good as Zane Lightburn. And so now you sitting in this room with me. She's sitting here blushing. I can tell her husband. I can tell your husband, man. And I know he listening. But I know it's innocent. I know it's innocent, but I got to be mischievous like that. Because God, know I love her and I love her husband. So everything cool. But she ain't bringing no souvenir for the cruise either on top of the fish. But giving me a question. Talk to the man.
Firstly, good afternoon, Bahamas. Good afternoon. I'm Minister Lightburn. You and Garth had a very good discourse, but I had a few follow-up questions that I wanted to ask because we're talking about various industries in terms of fishing, the boating industry, and you mentioned your background in history and education. And I want to know, is there anything currently in place in the school systems that we can bring these at a younger age? I know now, because sailing is now represented as our national sport, we have the junior sailors and all of these programs that are being brought in place. But I want to know, are we starting to teach this from a very young age through our system? Is this being entrenched into our curriculum? We talk about these things. I mean, KB say we work on the water, but in other countries like Jamaica, by the 7th, 8th grade, they are producing carpenters. I don't know one Jamaican who ain't know how to build something. They are producing these people in school and they are able to export labor across their country and even throughout the Caribbean. We talk about this fishing and boating. Is this something that we currently have in the works to implement in our school system so that we can really practice what we're preaching?
Well, our government have been very intentional. We have been very intentional in how we move forward. And we can't tout progress if we don't show that we are trying to get from point A to point B. The last year, the Ministry of Education rolled out for the first time a Bahamian history text written by Bahamians. I think it starts, it has from primary to senior school. It's a huge text. And some of our best minds when it came to history, social studies, and civics country to this text, this Bahamian text. So to answer your question, yes, we are targeting those students in school to cause them to appreciate that Europeans that colonized us. That is something that we need not to focus. We can mention as a matter of fact, but that should not be the indoctrination that we teach our children. That cannot be what we put in our schools for our children. And so, along with the history text, we have agencies like the Department of Environmental Plant Protection under our ministry. We have the Forestry Unit under our ministry who have a number of programs, non-government, and they are, in some cases, these are nonprofit organizations who sponsor certain programs to bring our awareness to, let's say, our creeks and how we can protect or how we can grow our mangroves, because some of the mangroves now die due to blockage. We want to develop. We have persons who are developing in areas where creeks don't meet each other, and so the systems, the marine, mangroves die, and all of the marine vegetation that help fish to grow and that are habitats, natural habitats for our fish. And so we are teaching them how to unblock, how to look at sustainable development, because we, in most cases, we like to build on the water, but we have no choice to build in some area that hampers the natural environment or that affects the natural environment. And so that is a part of, there's a huge education component, working with schools in terms of informing them what are our natural environment resources and help to protect it, how you can help to enhance it, how it can work to benefit you as a young Bahamian and as a future leader of the country. And so I also want to give shouts out to the Department of Forestry recently had an initiative for our teachers, and this is an ongoing professional development program when they're on midterm. I commended those teachers through the Ministry of Education. They're doing an excellent job of teaching the teachers how to teach the topic of natural environment, natural resources, and what forests are, because we never used some of these terms before. We used to just say the bush. We got in the bush. We never say we go into the forest. We thought of forests as big mahogany trees. Unless you have that, everything else is bush. But it's all forests, and we just have to teach them what type of forest we have and the benefits of those forests to enhancing our natural way of life.
I appreciate that. We got to go to the phone. You're on the line. You've been waiting for some time, but we're trying to get through. Go ahead, caller. Caller, you there? Caller, you're live on the air.
Good day, Mr. Lightburn, my mentor, my good friend. I ain't gonna call him a name, but any which way, sir. I love the PLP. Only problem I have in this country right now is with all these illegal immigrants, sir. What our Prime Minister intend to do with all these Haitians?
Now, you trying to come in here. Yeah, you trying to come and change my conversation, my brother. Cat. No. I said we ain't talking about that. I can get them to wait, sir. Yeah, but hold on. This ain't the show for that. Not this one. We talking environment and natural resources. That's what we talking about. Let me take another caller, please. Caller, you're live.
Yes, hey, how you doing? See Alan Johnson here.
Hey, doctor, how you doing?
I'm all right. Good afternoon to all of you in the studios.
Good afternoon,
Minister, I just wanted a question. Miller spoke on these things extensively. First, let me identify myself, right? I'm C. Alan Johnson, the originator of the resources conversation going back 25 years. I can show you evidence of the same going back to...
See, Alan, you got to go because we got only 6 minutes.
Understand that. Okay. Just afford me 60 seconds or 90 seconds, whatever it is you, again.
Please.
If you want to, I can just hang up.
No. You can call back after the break, but I say I got 6 minutes left because I got to go to the airport myself.
Let me have my 6 minutes, right? And then, hello?
Get your 2 minutes.
No, okay, so I'm saying this, right? You, Juan Miller spoke on these different things, right? And the reason I speak about this is that, I hear a lot of people talk about the natural resources. Juan Miller, in one of his identified a few dozen of them. For myself, I've identified over 130 of them of various different values. And I'm trying to find out is, do you have access to the papers that he may have or may have been provided to him? Because for me, one of the most important he made mention in the House of Assembly is the aquamarine economy that addresses all of these resources as one composite. And the reason I send you personally the data contribution is because my wife and I were the authors of that paper that he brought into Parliament. As you know, you can't argue in Parliament something that don't exist.
Okay, so let him answer that. I appreciate your call, Seattle. Go ahead, Minister.
So there is a process in the ministry that the minister is the head of the ministry, but in terms of the person responsible for all of the communications coming through the ministry, it should be in the hands of the permanent secretary who actually run the day-to-day operations, the chief human resource and budgeting officer. And then you have, of course, departments that may have that have a director that has some of that responsibility. But yes, some of whatever documents would have been officially submitted is there. we have also embarked on a young Bahamian company that, headed by a young lady who has a doctorate in the environmentalist, who has a capability to quantify our natural resources. And like you said, the former minister, God rest his soul, would have named a few, and you would have named an additional number of natural resources that you can identify. We have now gone further to officially have those resources named, identified, and also quantified. And I can present more of the specifics as soon as that agency presents their findings. We will table them officially. But yes, we are embarking on first knowing what we have so that we can take the confusion out of the room, and then we can identify how we intend to use what we have to benefit the Bahamian people.
There are a number of text messages that are here. As you see, we're right up on the heel of the news. Gabby will be taking control of the ship. Minister, I don't know if you're leaving at 3 or you're staying after the news.
Yeah, they told me 2 to 3. Even though I'd like to stay and chat with Gabby.
You want to stay and chat with Gabby?
I can do 5 minutes if she...
Well, we got to go to the news at the top of the hour. Gabby's going to, be here with you. I could trust Gabby with you.
What is that supposed to mean, Roseboro?
But I see the lines are all lit up, so I'll call us.
Because I have to read these people text. They text.
Call us. Give me your best 1 minute. Next caller on the line. Let's go quickly. Next caller. Caller, go ahead.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, man? I got to give you 1 minute. Sorry about that, but we're going up on the news.
I should be quick. Hi, mister. I loved what you said about the need to protect the turtle grass and the seagrass. I think that's really the fight where people have been calling for no dredging of those very same grasses. Will you pledge to step in and to protect those grasses? And would you speak to the people who are opposed to the dredging that's going to take place?
We have professionals that we pay in terms of technical officers who give us the proper assessment before we can make decisions. And so that is something that I would not make on my feet. All of the development that you see going on in this country are supposed to do 2 things: protect the environment and also enhance the country. So in some areas, you're going to affect some of the natural environment. It was all natural environment before any of us came here. But the best way to address it is to have the professionals assess, and we have an agency through the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection who make those determinations of what exactly can happen, and the applications and the necessary process will go on through that means, and it would be irresponsible for me to make a determination something like that.
I appreciate that. Let's take the next caller, please. Next caller, you're on the line.
Yes, good day.
Hey, how you doing, man? Trying to give you all some respect and love.
Yeah, from I know, there's always been scientists, people researching the Bahamas. So for us to know what we have in terms of resources, all we got to do is use the same AI that Cialan always talk about.
AI.
We have people who are have literacy in reading and even comprehending. You know what I mean? That what they read. But as far as being functional, you know what I'm saying, using it to function. You see, they saying things like using our resources, using our resources in terms of processing. We have tourism and our sun and sand resource. We ain't do it with Aragonite, right? But look what we do with our sand, with our tourism. We not like Dubai. Dubai own their resources. If they offer any public shares, not bro.
Well, that is a conversation. I wish you had listened to my program yesterday, 5 to 6:30 Remark. And if you listen to the Crab Pen, you can look at the podcast here on Guardian, talkradio.com. Look for Remark Sunday, 5 to 6:30. You'll understand more about what you're saying. I just want you to take the time, listen to that show, and of course, I'm sure you'll be better informed. Let me take the last caller, please. Caller, you're on the line.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? Delightful voice.
Sir, did you know that children develop better, live longer, have a better attitude towards civil society if they grow up in nature? That is extremely important.
Very important. Yes.
And so I would ask that if we know this, then we need to be aware that the children that are growing up without trees, that are growing up with garbage, are growing up underdeveloped
Yes.
and will be difficult to manage. Also, sir, this land and every land on the earth is holy land. It wasn't created to be sold and dug up, and that is the westernized model, and it has turned most of the earth into something horrific. It's been the cause of the destruction of many natural people who live naturally on the land. And it seems to me that this dialogue is propelling us once again towards exploitation of nature.
I appreciate your call. Yeah, we kind of... Minister Lightburn, it's good to sit with you today. Unfortunately, like I said, I have a family medical situation. But, people here, they want to talk to you. I have a dray load of text here. Callers that are going to be calling right after the news today. Definitely, indeed, I appreciate you being the geographic mind that you have. I also possess. I love nature. I love the environment. I love the conversation with natural resources about coal and fuel and solar energy and the whole 9 yards. I know you and we could talk all day. But unfortunately, like I said, I do have to go. For those people, you wanted to hear more from C. Allen. C. Allen, like I said, can call back after the break. I got to run a show. This is a show. My lines were lit up. I'm trying to give everybody some time, some respect. When you call in, please. I'm just saying please. I'm being very polite to you. Please. Be considerate to other people. The whole line board lit up. You want to talk for 10 minutes. That can't happen on my show. I keep telling you that. If I say you get 1 minute, you get 1 minute. Not because I'm mean. Not because it's a policy. It's because it's consideration. And if you are inconsiderate, don't text my line telling me how much people should be able to talk. I got to run this show. I am the manager. You're the guest. And I want to treat you right. I want to love and treat you right. So help me. And help me, Jesus. I'll see you again on Thursday.
Thank you so much.
Guardian Radio today, 2 to 4. Stay tuned for news, and you'll hear from Gabby next from 3 to 4. Minister Lightburn, pleasure's mine.
Thank you for having me. And we'll pray for your family also in your emergency.
Thank you.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
.9 FM Guardian Radio today. Yes, this is the beautiful voice of none other, the one, the only, Gabby. Yes, I know. You missed me. It's been a few days since we've last been in each other's company. I mean, we had such an extraordinary show last week, Wednesday and Thursday. We did our thing. We had Dr. Belinda Wilson on for our WCW series. So if you missed that, you definitely want to check out. The link is in Spotify. The shows are uploaded there. So anytime you miss any of your favorite shows, I want you to be mindful that we at Guardian Radio are thinking of you always. So you can go back and replay your favorite shows anywhere with you on the Spotify app. Just type in Guardian Radio today. boom, you'll see the date and your favorite shows will come up, because that interview with Belinda was powerful. It was definitely a powerful one. She is an advocate here in our community. And she's done great things. She's definitely a pillar in our country and deserving of all the flowers and all the celebration. I love her dearly. You know, before she tours, there are a lot of people that mentor you who do not even know you personally. And that speaks to all of the leaders in this country. You'd have just heard from the Honorable Zane Lightbourne, who would have been on with God. Listen, all of you in these leadership roles, you don't know the generations that you are mentoring and touching, even when you don't know their names. So that's why it's so important to just do the right things and look out for country first. Listen, we have a very, very, very special guest joining us in studio. God had to go. We wish him all the best in his journeys. Our thoughts and prayers are with him. So this 3 to 4 hour, it's going to be me, you, and this lovely, awesome gentleman whose voice, as soon as you hear it, it's so distinct. You'll know even before he says his name who this is. But very quickly, I want to give out the numbers to be a part of today's conversation, because we're going to be in here chopping it up. So if you want to be a part of today's conversations, the numbers to call is 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the beautiful family of islands, 242-300, 5720. And of course, take us wherever you go on the Guardian Talk Radio app and streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com. Listen, this gentleman, Mr. Marketing Extraordinaire, I have to let you say good afternoon to the people.
I go.
You was work my nerve.
That's your business.
Tell these people who you is, please.
Oh man, I got it. I know this one. I know this. You say, who am I? Who are the guys? No, wait a second. Who am I?
Sim.
You got it, man. Hey, listen here. Every time I come here, Gabby's such a beautiful person. Beautiful person. Whenever she walk in the room, the DJs play.
Now you don't be like God now, because I can put you outside. The studio door.
You off the chin. You all right, man. Hey, listen here, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ian Thomas, and I'm here from Direct Marketers. Direct Marketers, of course, is a marketing company where we specialize in radio, TV, print, social media, and e-blast. So if you have a business or a business idea and you want to know how viable it is, please feel free to give me a call at 552-0212. That's 552-0212. That's 552-0212.
Mr. Direct Marketers. I think everyone knows that number, that jingle. Listen, here on Guardian Radio today, we just want all of you business owners to know that there is space for you. This is just not political talk and conversation all day. If you have a small business, a medium business, large business, we have ad packages, we have interview packages, we have everything for you. If you want to come and sit with Gabby, because who else you coming to sit with? And then if you want to come and sit with God, if you want to come and sit with Uncle, whoever, any one of the Guardian Radio hosts, if you want to come and sit with us, you want to give 022300. Call.
Yes.
That's 302-2300.
Okay.
You want to call them, and April set up with all of the rates and packages, so you can be on here chopping it up with me and Ian.
Definitely.
Ian, the text already started rolling in, but before you even say your name, the people say, tell Mr. DNA.
Are you serious?
The DNA diagnostics
hey, listen,
text.
It's, as a matter of fact,
say Gabby, DNA direct.
Yeah, it is. It's so funny that you said that. After last week, right? Garth and I spent so much time on the radio talking about DNA Direct that I was even forced to come back and talk about it again today. Like they had I don't want to say a million, but they had a lot of calls last weekend and even up to today.
I want to talk about that. Let's talk about that because this is gonna, for the remainder of the show, we're gonna open it up for everyone to get. We're gonna be mindful on this Monday, everyone to get whatever it is you want to talk about off of your mind. Me and Ian are just gonna be in here chopping it up about
ma'am.
a platter of things, various different things. And I want to talk about that. We have in our society today a lot of people who have been falsely accused as the parent, that is father, particularly fathers, because we don't means babies, daddies, babies. And we have a lot of people that have taken care of children that were not their own for years. And this text will already say, I could take Mr. DNA Direct any day. What is it? What is that about?
Okay, well, DNA Direct is a paternity testing company that originated, let's just say about 15 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, might be off a few months, about 15 years ago. And what it came to do, to bring relief to individuals who are unsure, just like you said, males, who are unsure that if they are the biological fathers of these children that were presented to them. Now, an individual like me, I have God bless the dead, my dad's passed away, but I've had a father in my life all my life, my biological father, and my mother also married another man, so I have a stepfather. So I was lucky to have both of those people in my life. That's one thing where but a lot of men out there taking care of children that are not theirs unknowingly. That's where it's bad. See, it's not a matter of taking care. It's not a matter of taking care of a child. They're taking care of a child that they didn't realize it's not theirs. And like you just said, some people end up in court over a situation like this, and and having fines, some fines levied against them, and all types of stuff. And just to not know that, wow, I've been through all of this for absolutely nothing. I've worked along with DNA Direct for years, and I've seen so many cases of I've seen professional people, doctors and lawyers, MPs, judges, drug dealers.
Say it is so.
All these different types of people who take paternity tests and cannot believe what the results is. As a matter of fact, as of last week,
that's all the sweethearting with the sweethearting around here.
Well,
y'all say the sweethearting, y'all talking about LENT, and y'all as a population that like to sweetheart.
Yeah, it's crazy. And sweethearting, of course, without protection, that's another thing. And then when you factor that in with people who are already in a relationship, like even marriage, because I've seen I've seen that there's a paternity test done. So a paternity test is $450. That's an informational test. That's for individuals who just want to know. Then there's a legal test. Are you listening? There's a legal test. That's for in case you want to go to NIB, if you want to get your passport or any type of professional document, or individuals who want to take their stuff and carry it to their lawyers to say, listen, when I pass away, this is the test of that. Then, of course, you have individuals who have children with foreign women having children with Bahamian men, and they need it, like I said, for those legal purposes to get themselves sorted out. So you have all these different. So an informational test is $450, a legal test is $550, and it's just crazy of the things that we've seen. I see you want to go to the phone.
Yeah, the phone lines are lit up. Good afternoon. Welcome to Guardian Radio today with Gabby and our very special guest, Mr. Direct Marketers, Ian Thomas.
Hey, you all right?
I'm good.
Good to hear your voice again on the show, man.
Thank you. I'll be back on Wednesday.
I'll be listening.
Jeez.
Ian.
This conversation's taking a turn for the worse.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if this was my home oil.
You don't worry about that part, Ian.
Hello? OnlyFans.
Hi, how are you?
What I want to ask you, right? That's what I want to ask you, You remember the incident where they was talking about the hospital, right? The new hospital.
Lord, there's so many incidents with the new
hospital.
hospital.
Talking about the one where the fella said that the government is building a hospital on his property.
Oh, yes. That's still very active.
You're right. Now,
An
watch
active
this.
case.
This is what I want. That's what I want to find out from you, right? They had, government them had a town hall meeting almost, but four
4 to 5 times concerning
the
taking
property.
up
Yeah, concerning
property,
putting
right?
it, putting it there. Yes, correct.
But what are you trying to figure out? The fellow who now claiming that is his property, he never been to none of the town hall meeting concerning that.
Well, I wouldn't be able to answer that. Only him would be able to answer that.
That's what I'm saying. But he just all of a sudden he just pop up the minute they decided now they can go build.
But he is claiming to have the legal document. This is a claim, and if somebody can bear proof that they own something, we have a lot of land in this country that have been owned by families, whether it's been passed down. A lot of stuff have not been probated. We have issues with land registry, with the registering of properties. I can tell you, as somebody who is still waiting to get my property registered, still waiting, trying to figure out what is going on, why this process has to take months and months and months and months. I have a friend who's been waiting some over 2 years now for her property to be registered, has purchased this property, gone through all the legal stuff, paid off everything that they've asked for, and the property still has not been registered with the registrar department. So we have an issue with land registration in this country. So there could be a possibility where this is indeed the case. We don't know. Was it that? And then there are people that purchase property many years ago and have never registered the land. So you have another thing. They sit on the property 50 years, never go and have the land registered. And then that creates an issue now, because now in your lawyer doing the back title searches is trying to figure out, well, Susie was owning this property. Susie sold the property to Sarah, or transferred the property. Sarah never went and registered it under her name. So now it's a whole situation in there. Sarah died and her child registered it. So the information's still backdating to Susie. You have it's a nightmare. On top of that, the registrar done move. They done move and they finish filing or whatever it is they're doing. I have a relative waiting for information on their divorce with the decree nisi absolute, and they were just outright told that the registrar office, they don't know what's happening right now.
Okay, I understand everything what you're saying, right, Gabby, but I just need you to understand this part here. I trying to figure out if this fella know the government was billing on his property. They had at least about 4 to 5 town hall meetings.
How could he know? How can you say he can know? I'm gonna answer you on the edge of the line. Somebody can't know that if you wake up today, you may not be following everything. There's a lot of things in the news, even being involved in media. Sometimes I come into the station and I find out things is happening. There is news breaking and developing every day. Either way, if this person has claims, it don't matter if they find out 10 years later, if they are the rightful owners of this property and they can produce the documents, it is their land. That's the bottom line. It don't matter how much town hall meeting you had on this. It don't matter nothing. There are people losing generations of property on these family islands because people are quieting their lands because Sarah didn't know her mommy left this property for her, and they never had a will, or things weren't probated, or they didn't have the monies to probate it. So somebody there watching the property, watching it, nobody coming so I could quiet this land. We have a lot of that happening, particularly in our family island, and it doesn't make it right. Guardian Radio today.
Good day. How y'all doing?
We're good. How are you?
Great. I'm super. I was listening to Ian and the paternity testing. One of the things I find very interesting, and I think it is highly criminal in this country, is that there are a lot of women who know that their kids are not the child, or children are not the child of the person that they've had paying, supporting, and also taking care of for years. This is prevalent in this country. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think maybe about a year or so ago,
the judge awarded a woman to pay back some money.
Yes, had to engage a person and charge them to, they had to pay back a fee or some amount of money. I think it was $27,000, if I'm not mistaken. But that is a prevalent thing that's happening in this society, and honestly, as a man, it makes me sick. And the reason why I say that is because I think that's criminal, and I think that if I, a man in that nature, and that happened to me, I would try to get back every dime I put into that situation. Not because of the child, not because I don't love the child, but I think that is a situation that's dangerous.
It is.
And I found that sometimes, even when it comes to the situation of the child, who may be an adult, and okay, listen, I need a kidney, I need this, I need that, and maybe don't even find out until a blood test is done, and the rest is history. And there are a lot of women in this country who are guilty of that, and it's like they ain't got no conscience, they ain't even worrying about it. And I think that, like I say, they think a lot of Bahamian men has come. But the thing that Ian is promoting, I encourage any brother, if you ain't certain, and if you ain't 100%, you ain't stupid. You ain't a bad person for looking out for yourself. Go and get the test done, brother.
Thank you so much, Carla.
That's a good call. And as a matter of fact, this gentleman who just was speaking, he said some of the things that I say to individuals when I talk to them. Bahamians are not inherently bad people to say, like, well, I'm doing this test because of some type of negative reason. And I tell individuals, over the years, you've gone to work, you've worked hard, you've acquired certain things, and you want to leave those things to your biological children, or to people that you choose. You don't want to be hoodwinked into leaving something for somebody that you were not really. And so I agree with this guy wholeheartedly. Someone's asked me for the phone number. You guys want to call DNA Direct? The phone number is 324-0665. That's 324-0665. You want DNA Direct? 324-0665. I like their motto. It says DNA Direct, when knowing the truth matters. And which is so important because a lot of people can't handle the truth. After we give back some of the tests, we asked the gentleman, listen, are you okay if it comes back in a way that he didn't expect? I said, do you have a mom or someone you could talk to? But you have to be very careful who you talk to because people can use that information later on. When rowdy come people, you'd be like, wow, I've seen so many scenarios. And some of the things that stick out, this was an international one where the gentleman just said a child needed something medical. And they said, you need to bring one of your biological parents or someone related to you. Call the dad, bang, and they said they couldn't use the dad. He's not the biological father. He says, what? He couldn't believe that. So what he did is he tested another child. That wasn't his child. That he had with his wife. Then a third child. Then the fourth. None of his children with his wife was his. None.
It is criminal, and even as a woman, it's unbecoming. It's a very dangerous situation. A lot of women here, and we're talking about celebrating Women's Month, and we have to look at some of these things. It's a very dangerous game. I'm calling it a game that a lot of women in this country are playing. When you talk about falsely, it's a difference when the man knows and they accept that responsibility and they take that child on as their own. That is a difference. But when you come under the cloak and dagger, you come under the cloak and you say, well, look at your baby and right there. Oh, he looks so much like he daddy. And you know, Bathsheba.
Listen,
y'all gotta stop it right now.
Gabby, as you talk, this reminds me of so many cases that stuck out, and I'm here writing down different cases. Now, remember, this is like, this is over 15 years. I've seen so many scenarios. This is another case I want to tell you.
Only 400,000 people here.
This is another scenario. One of our first cases was this beautiful girl, beautiful. Very much like yourself. She was a beautiful girl. She was working in the security business, and she was like, I need to get this test done because I need to show this guy this is the baby. He's the baby daddy. We tested one guy. He wasn't. We tested another guy. He wasn't. While she's getting the test done, she's on the phone, like talking to another guy, putting up together a date. I was like, wow. But she was so pretty and so sexy. I could see how guys just get fooled by her. Because she had a nice body, everything.
You can't say the guys just get fooled. You know why? Because everything, when everything nice and sweet, they want top, but I can put a baby in you. So I blame them. I blame them.
You know how long ago this was?
I blame them.
This was when guys was on the street selling CDs. Remember CDs and DVDs on the street?
Yeah. Someone's still trying to sell me.
Listen, this girl, the guy who selling the CDs, she went on a date with the CD guy. She didn't want the guy carried her by his cousin's house. She said, it's somewhere in Ridgeland.
Ian, why are we laughing like this?
It's serious.
This is serious.
Be intelligent, Gabby. Come on now.
We got to take this seriously.
Yeah, so the guy took her by his cousin's house. And as a people on the street say, I'm dealing with the wife. So she wasn't sure. Then when she called him, she finally caught up with him and she said, listen, I need you to come with me to take this test. He said, in order for me to come with you and take this test, you got to wake it out. It's so serious.
This is so serious. But let's hear what our caller has to
say. Go
ahead.
You're
live on Guardian Radio today with Gabby and our special guest, Mr. Ian Thomas.
Hello, Gabby.
Hi.
Yeah, good afternoon to both of you all.
Good afternoon.
This problem, this is an old problem.
It's an old problem?
This will not stop until Jesus comes.
Jesus is
because, the woman will tell her husband, well, this your child. And the husband want to go and get a DNA or whatever. Then, if he have to be a real man of forgiveness to say, we still going to keep it, I will just take care of the child and stay with you. I love for him to do that. To don't go into this divorce. But when the man go out there and have a child, likewise the man want a woman to have pity on him also. So
women are more likely to have pity on them, though.
Huh?
Women are more likely to be accepting. We don't see most men take care of these children under the guise of them not knowing. Most of them don't know. Unless they met these women with the child, they are under the assumption that these children that were had in their relationship are their children. However, a man will go there, and you talk about what's been happening. We've been seeing the neighbor across the road, children, coming to the house to eat, and they telling the woman, that's my child. You got to feed him, bathe him, and clothe him, and treat him no different from the rest of the children.
Most women who wouldn't accept that will be those women in executive working in places, she know what all you got. She taking you to the bank. She gonna clean you out.
George Jefferson.
You understand me? But there are times when that same child will grow up maybe to take care of that same man or that same woman. It's a matter of choice. You either want to accept it or don't accept it.
Can I just interrupt you?
It's wrong now. It's really wrong for a woman to go out there and know that. But in the time of fear, she's fearful for life. She knows she get to lose. She get a good job. She get a good house. Now she know if I ever tell this man this, what is gonna.
Thank you so much for your call, caller. Listen, we got to go to a quick break, Ian, and when we come back, you got the first word. Answer that caller. The lines are lit up. They're interested in what we have to talk about today. I mean, these DNA tests, say it is so. We'll be right back.
Put more money back in your pocket with the Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
For fast fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Wait, you know what going down tomorrow? Joe bringing these knives to school? He could do Junior in. For what? Wait, he fooled with Joe girl.
Mother sick. And you know Junior don't back down for nothing. So that means he got a big fight tomorrow.
So whose side you on?
Side? I trying to stay in school, not Simpson Pen. We gotta tell somebody about this fight.
Tell somebody? I ain't no snitch. I mean cool, you know.
Wait, if you so cool, then you need to stay in school and stay out of the fight.
Yeah, but if I don't hang on Joe's side, him and these boys coming for me next.
All right, so we definitely gotta tell somebody. We gotta prevent the fight.
What I say? I don't want nobody call me snitch.
We could just call Crime Stoppers. You could report what you know, and nobody gotta know it's you.
So how did I work?
All you gotta do is call them, or you text them through the Crack Crime Bahamas app, and nobody can know it's you.
Then the police come looking for me for more info, and when they finish with them, Joe them coming looking for me?
When you call Crime Stoppers, the calls go directly to Miami, and they don't ask nothing about you. Then you can get the pen from them, and they can claim a reward later using that same pen. Plus, everything's scrambled, so nobody can read what you're saying.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
.9 FM Guardian Radio today. Listen, we in the studio on this Monday. We're just mindful of everything that's happening in our society during this LENT. I even stopped saying it. I just started spelling it for them.
It's good.
During this LENT time, we talked about the sweethearting the other day. The sweethearting would bring a baby in a baby carriage.
I have a cousin. She tells young people, having sex, it can result in two things, either KIDS or AIDS. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. But so that's something to just think about. But people just been calling and just blowing up the phone, and my phone's been ringing and everything like that. Another situation what I saw. First, what that guy was just saying on the radio when he called on the phone, the reason why individuals say women are more accepting is because when a woman has a child, the child usually stays with them. So if the man is in a relationship or he's married, he doesn't have to bring that child home. He just go there and drop off his box of cornflakes, some Pop Tarts.
Y'all hear this, ladies?
Yeah.
This is why you don't get swing. How you all be letting these men swing you all? I don't know. Do not get swing. You hear what he say? All the man got to do is drop off some cornflakes and that child stuck with you.
Yeah. See, and if it was the other way around, then the married man in a wife and everything, and the child is not his, he has to go home every day and see that child. You understand? So that's how the dynamics are different.
See, these girls these days, though, Ian, they ain't playing those type of games. They will make you a single daddy. I know some people off the top.
To infiltrate the marriage?
They will make you a single baby daddy. Ain't staying. They ain't keeping them children. They will help them children, but they could drop them off to you. You could be the one buying the cornflakes. You better be happy if they even bring any cornflakes for them children.
Jeepers creepers. I saw, are you going to go to the line?
Yeah, let's go to the phone line.
Cool.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Guardian Radio today with Gabby and my guest Ian. We're right here.
You all remember that song from Eddie Minnis that says, "You woe is me, shame and scandal in the family."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing. That song didn't come from nowhere, you know. That was going on, like Ian said, you guys say, that was going on for decades upon decades, you know, and it's a sad thing that is happening in this country, but it is what it is, you know.
So this is a part of, would you say, caller, that this is a part of Bahamian culture? That this is something that is culturally accepted and normal?
You know what that song is from Eddie Minnis back in the day?
Shame and
Yeah.
scandal in the family. We have that.
Yeah, they got that song, man. But caller,
Thank
man.
you so much.
It's absolutely amazing some of the things that we've seen. We saw a lady who was in a relationship, and the guy treated her like a queen, where she could be a stay-at-home. I don't know if she was a stay-at-home mom. I don't know if she was a wife or a girlfriend. But when she did the test, when the man went to work, and she found out, and the results came back, and he wasn't the father. Do you know that this woman wanted to kill the child?
What?
So I had to call one of my good friends, and the guy who I'm talking about, who I had to call. He's one of our good friends, who's a priest. I had to call him so he could talk to the girl, because the girl was like, if this man finds out this child is not his, my whole thing is over. This life that I'm living is so grand and everybody's envious of it is over. And she actually wanted to, I'll use the word, unalive the child.
Wow, Ian, let's get some of these text messages in. This texter says, good day, my two favorite people on airwaves. We have plenty non-Bahamian seeking opportunity for status in the Bahamas and are falsely accusing Bahamian men that the baby or babies is theirs. This false narrative is steadily increasing now. I think we said that nowadays that's a requirement.
It's a requirement, yeah.
A part of getting citizenship that they provide a DNA test.
Yeah, there was a call to us just an hour before I came here with a gentleman, and he said, "Man, I should have I never signed for my child from years ago, and now they're going to go ahead and try to get their passport and everything." And he wanted a test, and I think the test is going to be done today. So the phone's been lighting up. I'm going to give the phone number one more time. That's 324-0665, 324-0665. You want to call DNA Direct if you need to know the truth. It's so easy to get a paternity test done. It's no needles or blood involved. It's just a buccal swab, buccal meaning saliva. It's just a buccal swab of the inside of the mouth, and you get your results back in 7 to 10 business days. DNA Direct is open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and they have a mobile service available. It's so easy. You're going to get your results back in 7 to 10 business days. No needles or blood involved, just a buccal swab. You can do half down and pay the balance when the results come in. An informational test is $450. A legal test, a legal test is $550. So if you want that done, you can get it done. You can have a paternity test, meaning you want to find out if you're the father. You're going to get a maternity test if you want. Most people don't want that. Find out if you're the mother. You can get a siblingship test. Find out if you and someone is a brother and sister. You can get a grandparentage test to find out if this is my grandmother, this is my grandfather, or this is my grandchild. A lot of people, because unfortunately, sometimes the male might have passed away for some odd reason, and his family saying, "Hey, I'm trying to figure this out. If this is his child, because we wanna put something into the child's life and not just let it go like that." But it's a very unfortunate thing that people are faced with. I've seen this guy. I saw one guy. This guy is so tall, like 6'7". This guy cried like a baby.
I mean,
he cried like a baby. He picked up the phone, mommy, so and so has. I'm telling you the truth.
It's a heartbreaking story, though. After spending so much time, like this texter says, let's read some more text messages. This texter says, after spending all them years with a man who is not your real daddy, it would not matter anymore. All that matter is love. All babies and the children, them, all they need from us adults is love. God will deal with the rest. Listen to me. Some of these men, as much love as they have in their heart, after you find out it's nothing like betrayal.
Yeah.
That can be seen, that has been manifested. You can look past something, the sweethearting, people can look past because that's something, okay, you didn't, whatever. But when you talk about you created a whole nother human being that I have to look at in the face.
And don't let that child look just like the father. That's another dynamics to the whole situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not even like the child looks like the mother. It may favor the mother. But if it favors you, you're looking at these features and as they start to develop and if they find out, because oftentimes in these cases where we live in such tight-knit communities, they find out who the real daddies are. And then they end up building resentment up. So while they might have been taking care of this child all their life, all of a sudden, because they know the truth, we talk about wanting the truth, Ian, but we know the truth. The truth will kill you. It will not set you free.
DNA Direct, when knowing the truth matters.
Killed relationships. Completely obliterated them. Everybody happy once they living in fairy tale and la la la.
Wow.
The second you get the truth,
You can't. Boom. Yeah, like the old saying, like, hey, the truth, you can't handle the truth. And like I said years ago when I was sitting here with a very good person, a cousin of mine, Chrissy Love, when we sat here and we talked years ago, it was a matter of Gabby's getting the most intriguing messages, ladies and gentlemen.
Because this texter says, what's going on with Mr. Bully Pills? What? Thanks. She's heading to the maternity ward. If it's a boy, his name will be Ian.
In the name
who
of
is
Jesus
this trying to
Lord.
name? Y'all texters gotta stop. Y'all texters gotta stop.
Hey, listen here.
Yeah, let's go to the phone lines. Good day. Welcome to Guardian Talk Radio. Listen, we just relaxing on this Monday. We breaking y'all Monday and easy. Welcome to the conversation, caller.
Hey, great show, usual. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Hey, hey, what you all talking about? That been happening, though. That been happening from Jesus' time.
Mm-hmm.
What you think? You won't notice. Okay, I sure I'm not the only person, right? who noticed that all Prince Harry and them don't look alike.
Wow. Wow. I never thought about that.
I can't laugh
I'm
because I didn't
100%
think
sure
that
I'm
deep
the
on
only
that.
one who ain't noticed it.
Wow. You got one with red hair, one with blonde hair,
These
one
things
with black
been
hair.
going on from King Hatchet at the Hammer. See, you know who your ma is, but you ain't know who your pa is.
Boy, mother's babies, daddies, maybe.
Hey, motherfucker, you all may be on radio now, and you go on your daddy, he ain't your daddy. Your daddy ain't your daddy, but your daddy don't know.
I thought you were going to say Gabby's my sister.
Child, I got that big nose just like my pa, child. I won't give him that back. That nose so big. Listen, we gotta go to a break. We are chopping it up. Texas, we see you. We're gonna get to your text messages. Listen, mommy's babies, daddy's babies, and Wally done find a song for y'all.
She's soothing him nice. He went to his papa to ask his advice. Papa said, son, I have to say no. That girl is your sister, but your mama don't know. War is me. Shame and scandal in the family. War is me. Shame and scandal in the family. So the weeks went by.
Put more money back in your pocket with the Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Beulah gal, can you believe this? We are now the patrol queens of the neighborhood.
We now large and in charge. So we need to check out what's going on in everybody's yard. What about that gun that we know that Junior and his homeboys just ran out? Can we report that too?
Of course we can.
But we could be in deep trouble if they find out.
We need to report what we see, Beulah. When you call Crime Stoppers, they just answer your call in Miami.
So then we can report everything? Guns, where they hiding the drugs, who shoot who part of which gang, or who disturbing the peace with the loud music and the motorcycles.
Then our neighborhood will be the best in the Bahamas, and everybody gonna want to come live here. And then our house price will go up, gal.
So what we waiting on? What's the number?
If you see something, say something. Let us all pitch in and stop the crime before it's time. Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands. Or text us through the Crack Crime Bahamas app. Stop the crime before it's your time.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Well, in Nassau town, there lived a family with much confusion, as you will see. There was a mama, a papa, a boy, he was grown. He wanted to get married and have a wife of his own. He found a young girl, she's suiting him nice. He went to his papa to ask his advice. Papa said, son, I have to say no. That girl is your sister, but your mama don't know.
96.9 FM Guardian Radio today. Well, what a time in Nassau, Bahama land. The girl is your sister. And listen, I've had cousins who have connected with each other. You all, see, these parents seeing this why y'all gotta stop in this country. This place only so small, and y'all out here telling stories fathers are. And so they thinking they ain't related to the Smiths over here or to the Browns. And all the time, their daddy was a Smith or a Brown. And they over here think it's safe. Because they ain't nowhere in my family line. And all that time, you trying to figure out why the child born in with Down syndrome and all of these non-communicable disease, because the blood relation's so close, all the wires then cross because you're having baby with your first cousin. What a time.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
What a time.
Yeah, people are still calling me right now. They're asking about the legal test, because I guess they have to go and they want to get their passports and NIB. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, if you want a legal test, a legal DNA test, so you can have the documents will be sent directly to the court, whatever court you're using, or directly to your attorney. The phone number for DNA Direct is, write it down, please, 324-0665. That's 324-0665. That's DNA Direct. When knowing the truth counts, find out if someone's your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, or your grandparent or grandchild. Get a DNA test if that's important to you.
We have some more texts as well we want to get in here, because this is the last 10 minutes of the show, so we want to get these texts in. This text says, "Good day, Gabby and Gas. Even after 30 years, the guy found out the child isn't his own. The dad still accepts the child, and the child accepts the father. Some people moves on. Yes, some people, strong people. A lot of people move on. This next, Rodney Munker often joked that COVID-19 lockdown revealed Daddy looked good at his children and found that the wife baby looked like the neighbor. A couple was married for many years, and because the wife children look like the MP, they living in the U.S. What a time. Y'all.
Hey, Gabby, by you saying something like that, there was one scenario where this lady, she had a child originally. Then she got married with her husband, had 2 children, then had a 3rd child. Then everyone was like, why does your youngest and your oldest child look alike so much? And you know what happened? That woman went back to her original boyfriend years later on, and they had a child. And the amazing thing about it, she make her husband pay for the DNA test. He didn't even know.
Y'all, come on. We got to do better than this little 2 months.
Hey, listen. We seen so many situations.
Just the living proof of Maury. The 242 has its own version of Maury going on right here. Maury, Jerry Springer. Now y'all got Love and Hip Hop. Y'all got all kind of things happening on this little 21/7 island. Let's get some more of your text messages in. This text says, "Good afternoon. But 20 years ago, my son's father wanted to do a DNA because he is well known in society and wanted to try make me look bad. We did the DNA because I wanted him to sign for his son. DNA came 99.9%. He was the father. That's right, girl.
Good girl.
When you know, you know. Don't pay. I hope you let him pay for it too, because you know. You know what you know." This next texter says, "Hey, Gabby, you right. My brethren in a baby, like you said, his baby mother does nothing. He does everything from school, homework, groceries, etc. What did I tell you? These women in the 21st century, Wally, they ain't playing with these men today. They will drop the sitter. They come out the hospital. They drop the sitter. They drop the Pampers bag, and they leave you and bush crack woman gone.
Gabby,
you could be a single baby daddy, not me."
Let me tell you who women choose. Women don't choose the handsomest guy. They don't choose the guy who's best in bed. They choose 2 reasons. Either this guy can afford it, or this guy really want this baby. Those are 2 guys. I'm telling you.
I think all y'all say that. All y'all say that. I think everybody when they say when the love, I could put a baby in you.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Y'all trying to take these women off the road.
Either the guy really, really wants the baby and he ain't even care what color the baby come out. He really wanted that baby. Or number 2, or the woman says, you know what, this guy can afford it. He get that cake. he can afford this baby.
I know if I fully lead on to that because we still have a lot of single mothers in this society. So I don't know if I 100% buy that now because we have a lot of single mothers and say they're doing a lot of this by themselves. No daddy, no help from anyone, not even a
lot of guys,
family.
after the physical part of the relationship is taken out, then he say he ain't doing nothing. I've met many women. What? If you want me to take care of that baby, whether it's mine or it's not mine, when every time I see you, we get together like that. We do the horizontal mamba. I'm telling you, listen, people out there driving right now, they say this guy is absolutely right.
Because you brought a child into this world. That is yours. And in order for you to take care of that and be a part of that child's life, that has to come with some strings attached to the mother.
I love you. Come here, guys. So fresh.
This text says, have you or God ever had DNA performed to verify that the man named as your father is indeed your father?
Jeepers creepers.
Me
or Garth or me or you and
I don't know who they talking about. Must be you and God.
But maybe, okay, well, have I ever done a DNA test on my dad? No, I never do a DNA test on my dad. I never had to get to that point. I look like, and I don't even worry about that. I look like if my two grandfathers had a child. That's how I look. I look like two of them had a child. Maybe I who I say I is too. But let me tell you something. But there's a lot of people out there who need this service. Go ahead.
We have a good question. This person says, good evening. I have a question. If the couple is married, does the father have to sign for the baby that was conceived on the marriage?
During the marriage? Yeah, 18 years old. If I'm married to you, and you have a baby, and I have a baby outside, you have a baby. That's your baby, Gabby.
Hold on, man. See, we're going to need to extend this show. We're going to need to extend this show because I learned.
I'll come on when I say, Gabby, congratulations.
We have to have a part 2 of this show because I need to bring some attorneys on to talk about this.
You're a new mom.
We need to talk about this will and inheritance thing with all these children, when you're having these children in a marriage, because now they say it ain't the oldest son no more. It's everyone. And it's too bad if you just find about Johnny 2 days ago. Johnny's still entitled to everything he daddy leave.
Oh yeah,
it's a lot of stuff behind
a prominent guy just passed away the other day, and he left a couple children. And you are absolutely right. That's exactly how it went. Everyone came in. They had some people flew in and everything and that, and everything was equal straight across the board. That reminds me that I want to tell you. You will ask me for the number for Probate Bahamas.
Yes,
ladies and gentlemen.
Let's hold on. We get it at the end. Let's get this last call in. Caller, you're the last caller for the show. You could turn your radio down for us.
Hello.
Hi.
A pleasant good evening. That's Gabby.
Yes, it's Gabby, the one and only.
Taki, they say I got 2 minutes. In 1992.
Taki, you have 30 seconds, actually. You got 30 seconds.
2 minutes. In 1992, I was out of work. My house is up, mortgage, getting ready to go in papers for auction.
Mm-hmm.
I finally landed a job at Batelco in 1992.
Mm-hmm.
In those days, going to work, you call it what you call GQ. Shoes clean, nice suit, nice white shirt, tie, nice afro.
Who keeps back?
Going to Batelco.
Uh-huh.
Now, a lady in Batelco saw me. I go into lunch and everything by myself in the cafeteria. Lady said, can I have lunch with you? Bam.
Uh-huh.
I would like to have you before I get you.
Jesus.
I say, what? I dead single now. I just got a divorce in 1984.
Uh-huh.
So she was living with her sister with her daughter. So, okay, she's come visit my house and stuff because I had no car. I catch the bus.
Okay, Sparky. What happened?
I couldn't stand her.
Sparky, you've gone all the way off topic. Let me read these last couple of texts because I know, and you always just wait till the end of the show
I was getting
to call
excited.
in with some long epiphany, Sparky. Call earlier in the show so we can have time to really get into your story because you was want to come with an introduction. He's have the build up to the climax.
I knew he was handsome in GQ and all that part. I didn't know where the other part go. I didn't know whether the girl was an axe murderer.
So this texter says, no, sometimes the women can take care of their own children and wanted good genes. But mostly it's for the money though. Mm-hmm. Or he have a really good mother who really want to
That's what I'm trying to say.
Who really want a grant, and you could drop them off. This what you all doing now?
Babysitters.
Or you all risking it all. You all risking it all. You all dangerous. This next text says, I understand he will be calling the the election for sometime around the middle. Okay, that text. Let's read this last text about the probate. We had a texter that asked a question. Texter is so much text. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to find your text, which was the last text I wanted to read in there, that spoke to the registrar. They said they paid for a property. In essence, okay, they said they paid for a property and they have not received their registration stuff they paid $1,100 to Inland Revenue in VAT for this property, and they paid something to the registrar to have the property registered, and they told them to come back in 5 to 6 months, and that was last year, and it's now March, and they want their monies back. That's in essence. Text, I hope I got it right, because I couldn't find the text no more.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So, Ian, what you have to say? Last 30
I
seconds.
just wanted to let people know, listen, you're trying to get in contact with me. My phone number is 5520212, 5520212. Gabby and I were talking about probates behind the scenes. And if you are dealing with any property or anything, last with the will and everything, and you can't get it sorted out, you want to call Probate Bahamas at 434-2666. 434-2666. They provide services for probate applications, letters of administration applications, resealing applications. They do it all. You can fill out and submit an application form to them. You get a prompt or a reply, estimate time of completion on request, and 6 to 10 week turnaround time, low affordable rates. That's Probate Bahamas. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so happy I was here with Gabby today.
Listen, it's been an excellent show. At the top of the show, we want to thank the Honorable Minister Zane Lightbourne, who sat in with GARD. I took over for the last half of the show. Listen, we were talking about the DNA test. Back, Wally. This was a great show. On Wednesday, I will see you at 2 to 4 p.m. for our WCW series. You don't want to miss who's going to be my very special guest. Talking Heads is up next with Naughty and Mary Jean. Good afternoon, Bahamas.